So this evening, I don't have a new subject to talk about. So this session is dedicated to you guys asking any questions you've got over stuff we've done. And we can do a little bit of looking at any problem areas. We can do a little bit of practice if you want. And we can also do something that was suggested earlier, which is to listen to Iaido being taught in Japanese, and then you trying to work out what's being said. So you actually hear it in the context that you would normally hear Japanese. Okay.
Are we talking here about the famous cap?
Sorry, the famous
cap, a policeman.
Oh, Samurai Cop. Cap. Yeah, we could do. Yeah.
So it's not this Japanese lesson. Not this one.
Well, I think it's a good idea.
Where can I watch this movie?
I'm pretty sure you can download it somewhere. It's quite old. Yeah. Are you Fujiyama?
Yeah.
What is a katana? It's a Japanese sword.
I'm not proud to say that, but
You need to mute one of. That's it.
Yeah. So I actually Googled it, and the guy's name is Fujiyama. So
really?
he was not stuttering. He was actually saying the real name.
Yeah. Fujiyama. It's a really funny Japanese name. Anyway, right. So let's just have a quick reminder of what you guys have done this year. You've done all of this. Japanese sentence structure, verbs, groups 1, 2, and 3, state verbs like des. Sorry, things are sometimes appearing underneath the window. The possessive no, reference ko, so, a, do, like kore, sore, are, dore. The imperative, like the te form. E adjectives, na adjectives, adverbs, volitional form, like ikimashou, requests, te kudasai, non-requests or negative requests, so shinaide kudasai, please don't do this. Present continuous form, potential form, interrogatives like nani, dare, dochi, doko, how, what, why, etc. Conditionals, 2 sets of conditionals in fact, or 3 to be honest, if you include nada. Days of the week and the month, tameni yoni, experience, ta koto ga arimasu. Now I can't see what's flashed up. That's stating intentions like iku tsumori desu, intensifiers like difficult to drink, easy to eat. No, I can't see what else has popped up. Maybe nothing. Oh, causative forms, passive forms, and giving and receiving, and obligative. So you must do something. So we've done all of this, guys. Is there any subject that you don't feel very comfortable about and would like to do a little bit of extra revision of today? Don't be shy, because I'm sure if you don't feel comfortable, then it's probable that lots of people don't feel comfortable about it. Annika, dozo.
Tamini and Yoni, I think, is the most
That's funny.
the biggest problem.
Yeah, so we spent like 40 minutes this morning doing Tamini Yoni, but it's probably useful to do it again actually, because it is slightly difficult to kind of determine which is which. Okay, so we'll do Tamini Yoni. Any other points, guys, that you would like to look at?
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's fine. I'm sure lots of people feel slightly uncomfortable about Tamini Yoni.
Maybe.
Sorry.
No, you, Effie.
Sorry, I wasn't sure just for the intensifiers, because I'm not sure we saw it on Sunday, but I also don't. There was only one slide, I think, and I didn't really use it much. So
sure. Okay. We'll look at intensifiers. Okay. Tom?
So maybe for the comparing, so when to use Yori, when to use no Hoga, and There was a third one also, I thought, but I'm forgetting.
Yori no hou ga. Oh, hodo, which is quite funny in Spanish. Okay. Or is it Portuguese? Yeah, Joel, I can't remember. Isn't it Portuguese? It's funny.
It's
isn't it?
Spanish, but I understand what it is. Also, I know Spanish as well, so I know what it is in Spanish.
Okay. Any other subjects, guys?
I would,
Don't be shy.
yeah, I would like to clarify the sentence structure a bit.
Oh, sure. Okay. Excuse me. Anything else?
So can we also learn how to say "my name is Łukasz" in Japanese?
My name is Łukasz. Yeah. Specifically Łukasz.
Yeah, for me, yes, specifically Łukasz.
But maybe we all want to introduce ourselves as Łukasz. Okay. So I'm going to do these in a certain order, if that's okay, in order of kind of in the sort of order that we've learned them. So we'll do sentence structure first. Then we'll do intensifiers because that's easy. We'll do yori hodo and tame ni yoni at the end. Okay, that's quite kind of in order of how difficult the subjects are. Any other subjects, guys, you want to cover?
The causative was when you command something, someone to do something. Yeah.
It is, yes, yeah.
Yeah. Then yeah.
Causative as well?
Yeah, sure.
Sure, okay. Have you all seen the video that I posted talking to Yuki Kanto? Has anybody not seen it yet?
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, I recommend watching it. It will make causative form much easier on that video, actually. It's only like 10 minutes long. And Yuki sort of helps to really understand the complex parts of causative form. Okay, so let's look at sentence structure first. Let's just come out of this. I just want to comment, guys, why haven't you taken Kasha's lead on dressing up for the occasion? Okay, that's better, Annika. Well done. Well done. What have I got? I've got a red screwdriver I can stick in my ear, maybe. And Łukasz, you look like Assassin's Creed kind of person. Is that? Oh, that's better. Yeah. Yeah. Now you look like a reindeer, actually. Oh, actually, with Andre's allergies at the moment, I think he looks more like a reindeer. Especially Rudolph. Right, let's have a look at the general sentence structure. And I might I'm going to come off of this for a second because I want to actually write it. So we started off with some principles at the beginning of the year, which was subject, and then right at the end, we would have verb, and then we might have some other kind of terminator. And then basically everything else could kind of go in the middle. There would be just info in the middle, which could go in any order. Now, as you probably, let's do an example sentence. Kore wa nan desu ka. There you go. It's an example of all the grammatical forms. All right. Now, you're probably aware, because we've talked about it about 1 billion times, that we don't necessarily always have to announce the topic of the conversation. So that shouldn't say subject, that should say topic. So we don't often have to say watashi wa if it's very clear that you're talking about yourself. If you watch the Miku Sensei video, she also explains it really nicely that if you want to compare say somebody says, I don't like ice cream, and you want to say, well, I do like ice cream, then that would be a good time to say, watashi wa ice cream ga suki desu. Because if somebody says, I don't like ice cream, and you say, I like ice cream, it kind of sounds like a random comment. But if you say, watashi wa ice cream ga suki desu, then this is a good use of wa. So we know at the end we've got verbs, and then the terminator can be things like ka to make it a question, or ne to seek affirmation, like saying n'est-ce pas, isn't it? Or yo to slightly soften the end of the sentence. Now, this stuff in the middle, what I would say we should do to slightly expand on this is if we do or if we don't have a topic, we might need to specify the subject, and that should really go towards the beginning of the sentence. So for example, if I was to say, let's do one here, 今日は today, the topic, 私が 東京に行きます. And then something like baka at the end, just to sort of say, I'm going to Tokyo today, idiot. So really, we shouldn't let the subject kind of float around in this soup of information we put in the middle. Really, it should be kind of fairly close to the middle. If you happen to stick it towards the middle, it's not a big problem, but it just sounds a little bit weird. It's a bit like talking like Master Yoda. You can end up sounding like you're putting the wrong thing in the wrong place. Now, the other thing I would say is, in the info bit, we sometimes throw in the object as well. If we've got a transitive verb, which is always marked with o, isn't it? So, for example, sushi or tabimasu. And ideally, really, this should really go just before the verb. If not the object, then the adverb. Right. They kind of should take some priority in terms of going just before the verb, really. Now, time, place, date, who you're going with, how you're getting there. These can go in the information box in any order you like. So to expand this sentence here, for example, 今日は私が東京に電車で by train Effie さんと一緒に with Effie what else could I say 3時に 3 o'clock. All of this is in any order you like. This can really go in any way you like. いきます。I might stick maybe an adverb in there, hayaku or something. I don't know. Some adverb that I want to put in there as well. So we've got 今日は to mark the topic, 私が the subject, and then all this stuff in any order you wish, and then hayaku いきます. Tobe, does that help to clarify?
That clarified a great deal, actually. Because what I've been struggling with is how to build up the sentence to get it as I want to say. I have all the verbs and stuff, words, and
yeah.
But every time I double check my sentence, it comes out wrong.
So I would say that really the most important. Oh, that's funny. Was it done that? That's weird. The most important thing really to remember above everything else is that topic and subject go first, and verb and possibly a terminator will go at the end. Everything else can go to hell, basically. So all the info, and maybe even the object as well, and maybe the adverb as well. If you can't really remember, then just chuck it in the cloud, and whatever floats to the top first floats to the top first. But the topic subject at the beginning and the verb at the end, or the state at the end, that's obviously quite key. Is that okay?
Yeah, so the brackets here, you could just scramble around as you want.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. All of these can be, of course, the particles have to be with the right things.
Yeah, sure.
But, yeah. But everything else can go in any order you like. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Any questions, guys? Super duper. Move on. Number 2, intensifier. Can I clear this drawing off now? So let's have a quick look, see if there was a useful slide. Probably not. Intensifier. Passive form, passive form. Neat. Intensifiers, here we go. Oh, not that, sorry. Again. Let me turn on my little red pointy thing. So we've probably I can zoom through this really quickly. And if you are not sure about anything, then please say, sorry, I don't understand. Just tell me to stop. Okay. So when we have adjectives, things like muzukashi, difficult, and yasashi, kind of easy, but it actually kind of means friendly or kind usually. We don't usually use yasashi to say something is easy to do. And we use kantan for simple, a bit like me, and fukuzatsu for complicated. So we've got these are our 2 main kind of intensifiers. I'm not even sure if there are many others. So you can use these just as adjectives. Oh, I'm sorry, I need to go have a peaceful upcoming days. You too, Annika. See you soon. Oh, not you. Who was it?
Katarina.
Ah, okay. Oh yeah, we're short of 2 reindeer horns. So yeah, okay. So we can just use these to talk as an adjective, either before a noun or after noun. Obviously, before a noun, muzukashi and yasashi remain the same if it's an e adjective. If it's a na adjective, then we need to put kantan na something, or fukuzatsu na, and then the noun. Or if you want to describe the thing by making the object the subject first, you can say this phone, or this phone is simple, for example. You can say kono denwa wa kantan desu. Then you don't need na, because you're just saying this is what it is. You're not calling it a simple phone. You're saying the phone is simple. But if you want to talk about how something is easy to do or difficult to do, the key word here, of course, being verb, if you're describing a verb, these are called intensifiers. And it's really, really simple. We take the mass form of the word. So in group 2, that's the same as taking off the ru. But in group 1, ikimasu becomes iki, kirimasu becomes kiri, etc. Kaerimasu becomes kaeri. We take the mass off, like that. Shimasu becomes shi. And we then add this suffix intensifier. Now we can't use these ones. There are alternative versions of these adjectives which we will turn into intensifiers. So for easy, we use yasui. Yasui, something that's easy to do. So tabeyasui means easy to eat. If it's difficult, then we use nikui. So one of the translations of nikui is just the same Chinese character for muzukashi. It's just pronounced differently as nikui. And the last one we can use is zurai, which also means difficult. Comes originally from tsurai, but we pronounce it zurai. So mizurai is difficult to see. Untenshi yasui, easy to drive. Benkyou shinikui, difficult to study. And that's how we make intensifiers. Really, it should be a fairly easy part of our Japanese, really. Was there anything else? Oh yeah, and please remember that all of these suffixes turn the verb into an e adjective. So if you want to say it's easy to drive, you're basically describing something. So that sentence is an adjective type sentence. So you have to treat it like an adjective type sentence. If it's not easy to drive, let's say easy to read. So yomiyasui means easy to read. If you want to say it's not easy to read, then you'd say yomiyasukunai desu. So you turn the yasui into its negative form. Yasi yomiyasukunai desu. It was easy to cut. It was easy to cut. Kiriyasukatta desu. Okay. But you can hear I'm finishing with des because I'm making an adjective statement. So, Effie, the word for...
Sorry.
Sorry.
Is there a difference between the nikui and the zurai? Is there a contextual difference?
No, these are used completely interchangeably. I think zurai is slightly more conversational and nikui is a little bit more formal. You normally hear, people are kind of talking casually. They often use zurai instead of nikui. But as far as I know, they're completely interchangeable. Okay. So while you're here, Effie, let me just go to the next slide a second. The word for intensifiers is kyoigo. So I'd like you to say kyoigo are easy to understand. This is how I make people satisfied with the lesson, is by programming them to say these words.
To understand.
So easy to understand. Kyoigo are easy to understand.
But understand? Wait, understand?
I think you know this one.
Do I? Oh.
Yeah. I just say, I got it, I understood.
Wakarimasu? No.
Wakarimasu. Yeah, wakarimasu. This is it. Wakarimasu.
So, kyoigo wa, so, wakari yasui desu?
Yeah, exactly this. Kyoigo wa wakari yasui desu. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Tobe, how do you say bread is easy to make?
パンは作りやすいです。
Excellent. パンは作りやすいです。Okay, how do you say English is easy to speak?
Who, me? Me?
Sorry, Aga.
Sorry, I didn't understand. 英語は話しやすいです。
Excellent, good. Andre, how do you say this katana is difficult to use?
この刀が作りにくいです。
So not skudi, but to use is, remember this one?
使いにくいです。
Yes, good. Sky nikui desu. Tom, how about Joao is difficult to hear.
Joao wa kiko nikui desu.
Yes, good. Kikoe nikui desu.
Kikoe nikui desu.
Yeah, good. Annika, how do you say this hat is easy to wear?
このカップルが
So what word did you use there? Kaburu?
Kapuru?
This is the verb. How do you say this hat?
No. このカップルが
Kabaru is the word, is the verb, means
okay.
to wear in your head. So hat is boshi. Boshi.
Okay. この帽子がかぶりやすいです。
Yeah, good. Kaburi yasui desu. Joel, how about Spanish wine is easy to Spanish wine is too easy to drink. Let's up the game slightly. Spanish wine is too easy to drink.
Spain wine wa motto non mi yasui desu.
Remember, I don't know, we didn't do it as an actual lesson, but we did to do something to excess. There's a special word to say to do something to excess. Remember what it is? Oh, no, that just means lots. It's sugiru. It's actually a verb.
Sugiru. I've never heard of it.
So if I want to say it's too hot, I would say atsu sugimasu. Atsu sugimasu.
Oh, okay. So
means it goes to it. Go ahead.
Spine wine ga nomiyasu sugimasu.
Perfect. That's it. You don't need to have des because sugimasu is just a verb, which means it goes to excess. Yeah. Spain no wine ga nomiyasu sugimasu. Good. Łukasz? German is easy to learn. I'll be right back. Sorry, guys. I've got a delivery just arrived. Sorry.
So let's pretend I said that perfectly.
But that's not true. German is not easy to learn.
It is very easy. It's much easier than English.
Do you think so?
Of course, yeah. It has structure. English is complete bollocks.
It's easier than Polish, that's for sure.
German, well, yeah. It is.
It's quite close to Swedish, so it's
German is easy. Really, yeah. It's nice structure. Everything is set like it's supposed to be. When something is read, I mean, you type something somehow, and you don't read it all the time the same. And in English,
but even German people are struggling with grammatical things, so. I guess more difficult.
So I mean, that's around the world. In Poland, they're also struggling, and in English, the England, they're also struggling. So with English,
no, it's easy. In English, you just go like this, and the intonation and the way you point towards something means "can I have?" or "that is nice," or "can I sit on that?" It's just one word. Like that. This is how English.
Wasn't this Finnish?
Finnish has got a few more vowels in it. Oh,
we have the nä.
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 Oh, nä. So, Łukasz, what was Deutsch ist sehr what's it easy?
Sehr einfach zum Lernen. Deutsch go ga benkyo shi yasui desu.
Okay, good. Benkyo shi yasui desu. Okay. Everybody had a go then, didn't they? Yeah. Okay. Is that okay, Effie?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, good. Tick. Done. Sentence structure.
Mastered.
Mastered, exactly, yeah. Or bastard. Okay. We haven't done a lesson on Yori and Nohoga, so I'll quickly scribble up on the screen, and you guys can consider yourself lucky to have a preview of the future lesson. So if I want to say X is better than Y, let me create the entire structure first, and then I'll show you how to make it shorter. So I want to mark X as being the subject first, or the topic. So I can say X wa or X ga, doesn't matter which one you use. Sorry, this is going to be the really simple structure first. And then I want to say more than Y. So I would say Y, and then I put Yori. Yori. And then I'll make the statement, better or good, ides. Just this. This is as simple as it is. Mark the thing that's better, mark the thing that it's better than, and then say what that quality is, if it's better or worse or harder or softer. That's it. Now, you can go another step further. So this is simply saying, for example, this is saying X is better than Y. In fact, it's exactly the same sentence I wrote above. It's a good job I don't have to pay for my own chalk, isn't it? If you want to kind of say X is, how can I say, really give some emphasis to X being the best, better than Y, then you can say X no hoga. And then you can either say Y yori, or you can say nothing at all. If you say X no hoga, this means X more than anything else. X is the most something. And then again, whatever you want to say, warui desu, bad, for example. X is, yeah. I mean, I can't really say, all I'm doing again is writing X is better than Y. It's the same thing. X no hou ga Y yori warui desu.
So we need to combine the nohoga with yori.
Shouldn't it be in that sentence, X is worse than Y?
Oh, so in this case, we're actually using the verb. Sorry, the adjective. Yeah, but this warui can be anything. It can be good, better, or worse. Warui, atsui, samui. You know, whatever adjective you want to put in here, it can be anything you like. You're just saying that.
Just to clarify, if you use warui in that sentence, you are saying that X is more bad, which means worse than Y, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. Whatever adjective you want to use, whatever superlative you want to use.
So the first one is saying the same as the second one.
It is basically, yeah. It's just giving more emphasis that what you're actually saying is X. In this one here, you're looking at X and you're saying Y is not as good as X, kind of comparatively speaking. In the second one, you're saying X is up here and Y is down here. So it's all, I mean, relatively speaking, it's the same thing. It's just that your focus is slightly different in the second version.
So the first one is more neutral.
Yeah, but I wouldn't bear it any weight, really. I would learn both of them so you recognize them, and you use them almost completely interchangeably. It makes almost no difference at all. What it does kind of do in this version, if there is a Z somewhere living by itself in the woods in a cabin, surrounded by dragons and small furry creatures, then this also suggests that X is better than it. If there are some unspoken alternatives, you can kind of X no hou ga, it really kind of pushes it up there. Not only better than Y, but maybe better than others as well. It's not strictly conditioned in the sentence, but it has that nuance to it. Okay, so far. So Tom, how do you say beer is better than bicycles?
Biru wa jidensha?
Good. Yeah.
Yori desu.
Yes, good. Annika, how do you say German food is tastier than Polish food? Take the pin out of the hand grenade and throw it.
ドイツの食べ物が
Let's use the word cuisine. Deutsche Ryori. Deutsche Ryori.
ドイツの料理
just Deutsche Ryori. Just Deutsche Ryori.
ドイツ料理が
You see, you can't construct this sentence.
I can't lie. Ah!
ドイツ料理がポーランド料理
delicious.
美味しいです。
Yeah, good. Can you see what Łukasz is doing? He's talking to Anya, his wife, and he's saying there's a German girl in this class who claims that her cooking is better than yours, Anya. I think the next time you see her, you should punch her in the face. Was that right, Łukasz?
I absolutely agree with both of you.
Okay, Joel, how do you say Hawaii is hotter than Iceland? I'm not trying to make things too complicated, of course.
Hawaii ga
Yep.
Iceland yori atsui desu.
Perfect, good. Łukasz, how do you say PS4 is better than Xbox?
PS4 no hou ga Xbox yori desu.
Yes, good. Effie, how do you say my antlers are longer than yours?
私のアンテルが
So I think I know horn is tsuno. Tsuno.
Tsuno.
But no, that might be the right for antlers. I'm not sure. But you can use tsuno.
I will ask you later.
Yeah.
Watashi no tsuno ga. So it's better than what? Than yours.
Better than yours, yeah.
Watashi no tsuno ga. Anata no tsuno yori ii desu.
Yeah, good. Longer.
Longer. Nagai.
Very
Yori
good.
nagai.
Excellent. Good. So let's find out what antlers are. Oh, it's also tsuno. It's the same it's the same for both horns and antlers. But you'd say shika no tsuno means the deer's horns. Cool. Tobe. Swedish is easier to speak than Finnish. Swedish.
スウェーデン語
はい。
スウェーデン語は、フィンランド語
Yep, フィンランド語。
より安いです。
That just means cheap, actually. How do you say easy to speak?
話しやすいです。
Good, yeah, cool. We've got a comparator and intensifier in one sentence. Good. Aga, how would you say Polish ramen is easier to eat than Slovakian ramen?
ポランドのラーメンが、スロバキアンのラーメンより、what? Sorry, could you repeat that?
Easy to eat. Easy to eat.
食べやすいです。
Perfect. Good. Yes, exactly. Andre, how do you say Hong Kong has more allergens than Canada?
How do you say allergens?
I don't know, actually. It's probably something. Allergy is allergy, so allergens might be allergen or something. Allergen. Sorry. Arerugen.
Arerugen.
Yeah. There are more allergens in Hong Kong.
香港のアルゲンがカナダより、
And what many or much is? Well, many actually. Sounds like big. So it would be better to use oi.
多い。香港のアルゲンがカナダより多いです。
Yes, good, exactly. Yeah. Excellent. To be sure though, just this I actually picked this one. It was a little bit more tricky. What I would recommend doing is not putting the actual thing until the end. So you could say Hong Kong ga or Hong Kong no hou ga Canada yori, and then make the statement arerugen ga oi desu or oi desu, like this. So you don't. Otherwise, you keep having to repeating arugen in both Hong Kong and Canada. But you can just say Hong Kong has more allergens than Canada. Yeah. Okay. Any questions, guys?
Can I ask something?
Of course.
Is it safe? Like, so do we assume then that the yori, the second sentence, is like the comparative, and the third one is a superlative because it's even more, or it doesn't have anything to do with better and the best? Is it like?
Right. So yeah, it's nohoga. You could use nohoga by itself to make it the best. So if you wanted to say English is the worst country, then you say Igirisu nohoga saite desu. If you don't mention the yori, it assumes you're talking about everything else in comparison to everything else. Igirisu nohoga saite desu. Yeah.
Because the yori always goes with a second
Correct.
thing that you
Yeah.
compare. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, there's one more. Go on, Łukasz, dozo.
What does ho mean?
Ho, in this case, we had this conversation this morning, didn't we, Tom? Kata, 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 kata.
四方切り、三方切り。
Is it this? It is the same ho as in way,
Yes.
direction.
So
what-
Doc said it also.
So it means direction.
Thank you.
Right, there's one other version of this which we also should quickly learn because we're doing quite well for time, which is how to say not as much as. And this is a similar structure, actually. It's pretty easy. But you have to remember a couple of rules. So if I want to say Łukasz is not as pretty as Andy, which is basically true, I would say
Only on a small island, separated from the rest of the world.
Łukasz ga, Andy, and then we have this word hodo, which means not as much as.
Hodor.
Yeah. Hodor. And then because we're using not as much as, this is claiming a negative shape of the sentence. So we have to put the describer, the adjective, into the negative. Kirei janai. If I want to say Andy's not as young as Łukasz, Andy ga Łukasz hodo, and then what young is wakai. But I have to put this into the negative. Wakakunai des. Wakakunai des. So in this case, you mark the well, obviously you mark the subject with ga. You mark the comparer with hodo, and then you must put the adjective in the negative form. Okay, and then again, this is an adjective, so you should finish with something like des. Is that okay, guys?
The first one is positive. No, the first one is kirei janai, so it's a positive with janai.
So kirei it's not an e adjective, it's a na adjective. So the only way to turn a na adjective into negative is to say dewa arimasen at the end, or janai, which is the informal way.
But
So,
it's a positive meaning. So
No.
because you need to make it what is kirei? Isn't it a nai?
it's not an e adjective, it's a na adjective.
No, I'm asking if it's a positive meaning, if it's a good meaning, but then you have you have to put the verb in a negative version.
Yes. So
because then the second and third you turn the adjective in the negative and you keep the des, so you don't do the varimasen.
Correct. Yeah.
So it works both ways then.
One more time, Nefi.
So it works both ways, like with a positive, with a plain adjective and a negative verb.
Not exactly. So where this gets tricky is that if we remember the differences between how to conjugate adjectives. Now, if we use the e adjectives to start with, let's use the easy one, hot. Okay, this is atsui, of course. If I want to turn that into the negative, I say atsukunai des. So this is saying it is not hot. Even though it's got des at the end, it's saying it's like saying it is unhot. But when you have na adjectives, these basically have to be treated the same way as you treat nouns. So there isn't any kind of conjugation you can do with a na adjective. It's a noun. So unlike Slavic and Slavic languages, you can't decline your nouns, I'm afraid. Nouns remain exactly the same. So if I use kirei, which doesn't actually mean pretty, it means prettiness. It's actually a noun. because it's a na adjective, the only way I can turn this negative is to say dewa arimasen. There is no way of saying it is unpretty. That doesn't work. You have to say it is not pretty. Yeah. So the same thing is happening here. We can treat these as little subclauses. This one, and these in total, both of these are both negative. Their net effect is that they're both negative. Yeah.
But when we say negative, we mean the grammatic structure is supposed to be negative, not the kind of emotional charge or whatever you think of it, right? The structure has to be negative.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly this. Yeah. Yeah. Any questions, guys? Cool. I've got some stock being made for ramen in the kitchen. I can smell it now. It's amazing. It's got a massive lump of pork belly in there, just simmering away. And I'm just going to throw it all away tomorrow after 24 hours and have the most delicious ramen. Yum, 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 yum. Just thought I'd share that with you. Okay, right. We're now on to tamani and your. I might do causative first, actually, because tamani and yoni could go on forever. Can I clear this page?
I have a question. Are you going to put this as a kind of slide in your this kind of slidey thingy?
It will be a formal class in the.
There will be soon something.
Yes. Yeah, there will be.
Good, great.
I'll save this anyway, just because it's kind of useful.
Excellent.
Right. Okay. Causative. Who asked this one? Was it Tom?
Oh, it was me.
Oh, Tobit. Okay. Okay. I'm going to again zip through this pretty quickly. Sorry, Tobit. How do you feel about the passive form? Are you comfortable with the passive form?
Not really. It's okay. Sometimes.
Okay, I'm gonna quickly zip through the passive form first, because it's easier to remember the causative form if you know the passive form, because they're treated really, really similarly to each other. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to go through this quickly. If you have any questions or you're not sure what I just said, or you don't understand what I just said, then just say, sorry, can you stop and say that again? Or can you explain? So the passive form is only used to give some emotion to your sentence. If I say a thief stole my wallet, I can just say Dorobo ga watashi no saifu o torimashita. This is as much grammar as you need. You're just saying the thief took my wallet, but it doesn't give any kind of feeling of you being the victim of a crime or you being subjected against your will. It's just saying a thief took my wallet. It doesn't suggest anything more than that. It's not about me, it's about the thief. But what I want to say is this happened to me. So I want to put myself as the subject, or at least my wallet as the subject. So this is why we use the passive form. So for example, Wayne ate my sushi is just the basic grammatical form. Wayne-san ga watashi no sushi o tabemashita. Doesn't actually put me in there at all. It keeps me out of it. But if I want to say my sushi was eaten by Wayne, this kind of puts my sushi at the point of focus in the sentence. So we mark that thing with ga, watashi no sushi ga. So you can see it just here, watashi no sushi ga. And then the person who is doing this to you, or the thing which is doing it to you, what I've called the agency, is marked with ni. And then the last thing we have to do is just conjugate the verb into the passive form, which we'll do in just a second. Is that okay so far, Toby?
Yes.
So what I recommend doing is again creating a model sentence in your head that you can refer back to and say, okay, if I need to do it, I just remember this one sentence. And here's a perfect one for you. Wayne-san ni, oh, sorry, let's put the subject first. Watashi no sushi ga Wayne-san ni taberaremashita. There. You'll never forget that Wayne has the propensity to steal your sushi. Okay, now to make the conjugation, to change the verb, in both passive and causative, we turn the group 1 verbs into the plain negative form first. So iku becomes ikanai. We don't need the nai because that actually says the verb. We just leave ourselves with ika, which is another word for squid. And then we put reru on the end. Ikareru, ikareru. Group 2 is a little bit easier. We take off the stem, we take off the ending, the suffix, whatever it is, whether it's ru or mas, it doesn't matter. And we put rareru, which is the same as the potential form. And suru becomes sareru, kuru becomes korareru, which is also the same as the potential form. And that's it, really. There's nothing more to know about the passive form. Any questions? You okay, Toby?
Yep.
Okay, now let's skip forward onto the causative form because it's almost the same. So we use this to say that somebody made somebody else do something, or somebody allowed somebody to do something. Grammatically, these are exactly the same. We just change the feeling of the sentence by adding or taking away agimasu or kurimasu. So, for example, here's the model sentence that you should remember, Tobe. Constantina made Tobe go to his room. Okay, really, really easy one. So you mark the person who's the controlling one, the dominatrix in this case, Constantina, with ga, and you mark the victim or the what do you call it in SNM?
The receiver.
The receiver, yeah.
The happy one.
Yeah, the happy one. I'll tell you what, let's call him the gimp. We mark the gimp with ni. Okay? Gimp is ni. So Tobe, today you are the gimp officially. Okay. And then we have to conjugate the verb. And that's the only rule we have to remember. Conjugation is really, really simple if you know the passive. Again, for group 1, we make the plain negative form. And instead of reru, we put seru. Taberu is very similar. We remove the ending and put saseru. Suru becomes saseru. Kuru becomes kosaseru. The way that you make a difference between forcing somebody to do something and letting them do something depends on what kind of whip you're using at the time.
Thin line, I would say.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's using the emergency word. Oh dear. Is really saying that if somebody allows you to do something, you can emphasize that by saying they gave it to you. So, for example, if I wanted to say, Ishido Sensei let me go to the seminar, then I would say Ishido Sensei ga, because he's the controlling one. Watashi ni, I'm the receiver or the gimp. Koshukai ni, to the seminar. Ikasete kuremashita. So it's saying he gave me the go ability to me. Ikasete kuremashita. If I want to say, I just want to say I was allowed to go to the seminar. If I'm not going to actually mark the person who allowed me to go, I can put myself as the subject and I can say, Watashi ga koshukai ni ikasete moraimashita. Ikasete moraimashita. So I received the going. If I happen to throw into that sentence that it was Ishido Sensei, I would say Ishido Sensei kara, because it's moraimasu at the end. So remember the giving and receiving stuff. For moraimasu, you mark the person from whom it's coming from with kara. Ishido Sensei kara, koshukai ni, watashi ni, ikasete moraimashita. How's that, Tobe?
The last part I didn't quite understand.
Okay.
So instead, you still make the te form.
Yep.
And you moraimashita, but you use instead of ni particle kara.
Yeah. No. That's not quite right. Let me just
Okay.
let me put it up on the screen a second. Let me stop sharing it. In fact, this is probably diving a little bit too deeply into the area of my ignorance. So I'm going to be a little bit careful about this. Shiro sensei kara. Let's put myself first. Tashi ga Shiro sensei kara koshukai ni ikasete, which means the allowing to, or the causing to go, moraimashita. Now, the reason why the particles are slightly different, for example, ga and kara, is because this is the primary verb, moraimashita. So I want to treat this just like, for example, watashi ga Shiro sensei kara presento, I'll just write it in English, o moraimashita. That's this sentence structure in this case. Try not to think about all the different variations of this sentence, because generally Japanese people don't just freestyle all the different combinations of things. If you say, for example, if somebody was to say, I don't know, my mother made me brush my teeth. She made me brush my teeth. Then you would normally say either you say okasan ga watashi ni ha o migakasemashita. So that means that she made me brush my teeth. If I was to say that I was made to brush my teeth, then I would put it in the other way. I'd say watashi. Sorry, I put it into the passive form, but causative and passive together. This is diving a bit too deeply for now.
It's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Still, yeah.
But it'll be just to quickly go. Aka-san ni ha o mika. Sorry. Migakaseraremashita. So it's a combination of passive and causative together. But do the easy one. Just say who's doing it to who. She made me. I made her. I let him. Just use this way if it's not clear at the moment. It's much more along the lines of the rules of S&M that way, to say you blame the person who did it, you don't blame the person who allowed it to happen. Then when the police come round, because somebody has burnt down the entire bed and the bedroom, then you can apportion blame properly. Okay, any questions?
That's quite clear.
Okay, good. Andre, did you have a question?
Yes. Sometimes I would hear people using the particle wo instead of ni to mark the receiving party. Does that make a difference?
Yeah, if you're making somebody rather than allowing them, so this is exclusive for making, then you can use o. So you can say, for example, Joao-san ga Andy o sushi o. Although I think it can only be for intransitive verbs. So I think you have to say Andy o Tokyo ni ikasemashita. But I seem to remember reading on a page that I posted to Patrick that this verb here must be an intransitive verb if you do that, because you're making the person. I need to confirm actually. I can't exactly remember, but yeah, you can use o in this case here to say the person you're making do something. Yeah.
Doesn't the o then mean it's a subclass, or?
Almost certainly, yeah.
Because you can have only one o, only one subject.
Kind of, yeah. I think that becomes a subclause there then. So if we do, if I'm wrong that we can actually use transitive verbs, then like sushi or taberu, that would go in. That would be a subclause basically. Yeah. Okay. Should we move on? You okay, Łukasz? Are you losing the way, or?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay, Łukasz. If you don't understand, I would suggest you to watch some Japanese romantic action movies, and then you will hear the actress saying "Watashi o ikasete," and then you will understand everything.
Ecchi da na.
Ikasete?
Make me come, or make me go, really. Yeah.
God.
I know. When Andre says romantic action movies, you know,
Yeah, I
that
understand.
he doesn't mean romantic action movies at all.
Of course, these are romantic action movies. I'm absolutely sure.
It must be some action.
And a romance.
I don't know. All of my romantic action movies have animals in them. I don't see much romance.
God, don't say this loud.
Okay, let's move on to let's do Tamini Yorni. So I feel quite a veteran at explaining this now. Let's clear this off a second. Ta-da! That was really funny. Sure. So it was before Yorni. It must have been a couple of slides back. Tamini, here we go. Is that the last one? Yeah. Dopsy. Now, Effie, you're leaving at the most exciting point of the lesson.
It's my cat, sorry.
Okay. Right. Let's focus on Tamini and how to use it and why and where we use it. So the first thing I should say is, forget that, it's not easy to use at all. Let's go through this a second. Actually, I want to start with the Yorni bit. There's a line at the top of Yorni, which should really go in here. Used more for direct intentionality. Whatever that means. We'll come back to that in a second. If you are doing something and you know that it's for the benefit of actually doing something else, then Tamini is the best one to use. That's what makes it slightly different to Yorni. For example, for the benefit of George, who can't eat meat, I bought some vegetables. I didn't buy vegetables in case George decided that he was going to go and become a Buddhist. I bought vegetables because he can only eat vegetables. Okay, so this is a really clear intentionality. I bought vegetables so George could eat them, is what I'm basically saying. A clear link between what you do and what the benefit is. In order to pass my exams, I must study more. So I'm only studying, in this particular case, I'm only studying so that I can pass the exams. I'm not studying geography because I want to be a geographer. I'm studying geography so I can pass an exam and then go to university. So, Łukasz?
And be geographer.
Do you know any geographers? See, nobody wants to.
Except my teachers, no.
See, nobody. The only thing to do with geography is to become a geography teacher. It's like history. Anything you do if you learn history is become a history teacher. It's pointless. Does anybody here a history teacher by any chance? No, okay, good. This is a book for fixing cars. So the purpose of the book is purely to fix cars. It's not to prop up the table with one leg that's too shorter than the others. It's for fixing cars. There's a direct link between thing and the provision. Sorry, the provision and the benefit. The difficult part of Tamini is identifying what is what. So, for example, in these examples we've got here, who or what is the benefit and what is the necessity or what is the provision? So, for example, here, the beneficiary is George, and the provision or necessity that you're providing, the facility you're providing, is buying vegetables. To pass the exam is the benefit, and studying more is the necessary provision. This is an elevator for the elderly. The elderly are the benefiters, and the elevator is the provision, the facility. And this is a book for fixing cars. Fixing cars is the benefit and the book is the provision. Okay, is that clear which is which? Cool. In each case, there could be either a noun or a verb, either for the benefit or for the necessity. They can be either nouns or verbs. This makes a small difference to the way we use the particles, and that's the hardest part of this bit, is knowing which particle to use. So the benefit goes first, and the necessity goes after. And we stick tame in the middle. If the benefit is a noun, we then put no, tame. If it's a verb, we don't need a particle. We just say the verb in its plain form, and then we can say tame. Then at the end, the necessity, again, if it's a noun, look, it starts with no. We put no. And if it's a verb or an adjective, we put ni. Sorry, Lukasz? Okay, good. And that's basically it. The difficulty is going to be in kind of working out when it's yoni and when it's tameni. So, for example, this one's above, George no tameni yasai o kaimashita. Annika, what about number 2? B rather, in order to pass my exam, I must study more.
The benefit is, yeah, the pass exam. I don't know the verb for this action.
Okay. So do you know what an exam is in Japanese? What do you call Iaido gradings in Japanese?
I'm sorry, I am.
Okay. You can use shinsa usually used for a practical examination, or shiken for a theoretical examination, shiken or shinsa. And then to pass is gokaku suru. Gokaku suru. So this is a shimasu verb, suru, gokaku suru. So firstly, how do you say to pass an exam? How would you say this?
Shinsen o gokaku suru.
Yeah, good. Is it shinsa? Shinsa or shiken? Yeah.
Shinsa o shigaku. Gokaku suru.
Good, yeah. To be honest, you can use the word pass suru. This is fine as well. Pass suru. Japanese.
Okay.
But Andre gets angry whenever I use Japanized English words. See, that's him getting angry.
Okay.
Angry. So gokaku. Okay, so we can put that at the beginning. So let's put it in there now. One more time. Dozo.
Shinsa o gokaku suru tame ni.
Good. Yeah, it's going to be a verb, isn't it?
Yeah.
Next. I must study more.
Moto benkyou shimasu.
This is fine. You can say this. This means I will study more. Yeah. If you want to say, though, just to throw the hand grenade into the orphans' hospital, how do you say I must study more? So benkyou shimasu was I will study. How do you say I must study? Okay, this is all. That's right. This is all good practice for everybody. Guys, can you remember the obligatives?
Is that saseru or something like this? No.
Benkyo shinakereba narimasen.
Benkyo shinakereba narimasen.
Shinakereba narimasen. Yeah. Benkyo shinakereba narimasen. What did you say, Lukasz? Saseru? Oh, this is the causative. This means you will make somebody study.
Myself.
Yeah, you're really taking this S&M thing a little bit too literally. You know, in S&M, you can't do it by yourself. That's called something else in English.
It's called sauna. Sauna shimasu.
I'm glad when Toby's had enough sleep, he comes to life and he represents this, the liberal Swedish spirit. Okay. Where were we? Oh yeah, sorry, Annika. Yeah,
Sauna.
so Benkyo Shinakadebu. Yeah, okay. Joel,
Okay.
how'd you say this is an elevator for the elderly?
How do you say elderly?
Otoshiyori. Otoshiyori.
Kotoshiyori?
Otoshiyori.
Otoshiyori.
Yeah.
Otoshiyori no tame no elevator desu.
Perfect. Otoshiyori no elevator desu. In fact, I've got the answer. 試験を合格するためにもっと勉強しなくちゃいけない。And then これがお年寄りのためのエレベーターです。Perfect. Wukash, how about this is a book for fixing cars?
Kuruma fix is what?
Naosu.
Nausu.
Naosu.
Naosu. So kuruma o naotsu.
Good. Yeah.
Tame no.
Good.
Hondas. So should I say kore wa?
Yeah, you can do, but it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. But yeah, to fill in all the spaces, it would be kore ga kuruma o naosu tame no
Hondas.
Yeah, good. Effie, how'd you say these are glasses for reading?
These are glasses. これがメガネ what? So it's now メガネの
No, just a second. The benefit is reading, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay,
that
so
goes
first
here.
what is reading? يومو wait. Wait, I forgot.
So we had koriga.
So koriga. Wait, but these are koriga mengane wo.
No. We put the benefit first.
So do I still start with koreba or korega?
Yeah, because this is marking the topic or the subject. This can go at the beginning. Yeah, go ahead.
Yomu tame no.
Yeah.
Mengane desu.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Koriga yomu tame no megane desu. Good. That's it. Tobe, I just say. In order to make bread, you have to buy some flour.
Pan o suru.
So to make is
tsukuru. はい。パンを作るために flour コマを買います。
Good. Yeah. Good. Yeah. I will buy flour to make bread. So how do you say I must?
かなければなりません。
Perfect. Yes. Yeah. Exactly this. Good. Aga, how about let's see. In order to make some money, I have to work. In order to get money, I have to work.
Make money.
Yeah, I mean, you can pick a verb which you know, which you could use here. So you could use receive, or receive is probably quite the best one to do, I think. Or you can use make to make money.
So can I say お金をもらう
Exactly this. Yes. Exactly.
にもっと働いています。
So if you wanted to say, I must work. I must work.
働かなければなりません。
Perfect. Good. Yeah. お金をもらうために働かなければなりません. Yeah. Good. And Andre, in order to cure these allergies, I have to take some medicine.
このアルギを治すために薬を食べなきゃ。
So actually you should use nomu for
薬を飲まなきゃ。
Good. Exactly. 飲まなきゃ. Good. Or 飲まなければなりませんね. Okay, good. Any questions on tameni? Cool. Good. Let's move on to yoni and really.
I just have to say I'm going.
Oh, sure. Okay, Effie.
So thank you
See
very
you
much.
A pleasure. See you soon.
See you. Bye.
Bye bye. In order to have a spree killing in the nunnery, let's look at yoni. Right, this is always slightly confused with tameni. And there is a way of there isn't a kind of fixed rule that says, here's a straight line, and if you do this, then it's on this side, and if it's this, it goes on this side. It's really about the nuance of the sentence that you need to examine, because the sentence structure is almost the same. Again, you've got the objective this time at the beginning, with the verb in the potential form, and then the activity in the form of a verb afterwards. And these, again, because this is a verb, you don't need a particle, but you need a particle here. So verb 1, whatever it is, tameni, verb 2, indicates that you do verb 2, so this is about tame, and you will then do verb 1 directly and intentionally. You'll achieve the benefit directly and intentionally if you use tameni. But the difference to yoni indicates that you do verb 2 in order to be able to do verb 1, even if you don't actually do verb 1. Okay, it's purely to be able to do something, even if you don't do it. Okay, so for example, I'm not being offered a job in a Japanese bank or a Japanese company, but in order that in the future I could work in a Japanese company, I will learn Japanese. Maybe I'll get a job. Maybe I'll do something else. Maybe I'll just become a builder. But just in case. So in that instance where there's not direct intentionality, this would be better to use yoni. Some of this I can't remember why I put it on the screen. It was written so long ago. Forget this for a second, and forget this for a second, and forget that, and forget that. Right, so what we're actually aiming to do is identify the tone of intention, and that's what determines if you use tameni or yoni. So for example, if I'm teaching somebody Iaido, and I say, you must step forwards in order to cut the neck. Now, I'm not actually expecting the person who I'm teaching to cut somebody's neck off, to cut their head off. I don't actually expect them to make a cut. So tameni wouldn't be suitable here. What I should say is, so that you would be able to cut the neck, you have to step forwards. And this falls very clearly in the box of yoni rather than tameni. Let's see. I get up early in order to be able to go shopping tomorrow. Now, of course, if you actually say this, for example, in English, I'm going to go to bed early so that I can go shopping tomorrow early. This would probably be tameni because you're saying, I'm going to do that. But say you didn't know for sure whether you were going to go shopping, but if you don't get up early, then you'll hit the traffic and then you won't be able to get to the shops. So in that case, you might say yoni. That's the same example I gave about working in a Japanese company. I'm saving enough money to buy a car. Now, again, this might fall into the category of tameni if you have a clear plan. Maybe you're saying next year, because I'm going to buy a car, I will save some money. But if you don't really have a fixed plan, you just kind of think, well, I want to save up enough money and maybe I'll use it to buy a car. Maybe I'll use it to buy some sweeties. Maybe I'll expand my PS5 game collection. Then you'd use yoni rather than tamini. Okay? This can be really difficult to visualize without having some clear examples, to be honest. So let's have.
Would it? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Would it change the intention if it would say, for example, I'm saving enough money to buy a Toyota?
Yeah. So if you're actually being very specific about the fact that you are going to do something, then tamini would be better.
Yeah.
So the fact that you're saying in order to be able to, the fact that all of these verbs before yoni are in the potential form doesn't mean that you're going to do them. It's just saying so that I'm able to, should I want to in the future.
Okay.
Kubi ga kireru yoni mae ni fumanaka narimasen. Ashita kaimono suru tameni. So here when we did these examples earlier in the year, I actually made sure this was tamini because you don't really get up early to go shopping unless you're going shopping, right? So this became tamini. Chugoku no kaisha de shigoto ga dekiru yoni chugoku o benkyou shimasu. So working in a in a Chinese company, I said this was yoni because you may not actually work in a Chinese company. You're just studying for the possibility that you do work in one. Kuruma was kaeru yoni. Oh, okay. This and then the car was a little bit sitting on the line really between yoni and tamini. We've got some examples we can use. No, don't have any there. But I'm going to give you a real life example now. I'm going to read a part from a Japanese text. So Tom, you have to keep quiet. And this is the way it's written actually in the Zenken Ren Iaido manual. And you'll hear what it is, and then you can practice translating it, and you'll see exactly what I mean. Give me just a second to find it so I read it correctly. Excuse me. Just shrink the gun slightly. Move that down. Right. Ready? Turn on your listening ears. Mimi no ushiro o tsuku you ni furikaburu toいうことがとても大事です。I'll read it a few times and I'll put it on the screen. 耳の後ろをつくように振りかぶることが、振りかぶるということがとても大事です。I'll do it one more time. 耳, this means ear, の後ろをつくように振りかぶるということがとても大事です。アンドレ、分かったかな？全部？
はい。
よし。Try and write it in my best Japanese Roman. 耳の後ろをつくように振りかぶるということはとても大事です。Okay, just for your entertainment, guys. This is actually a transcript from the Central Seminar last year that Kusama Sensei was teaching at. So this is a direct transcription of his explanation. And then just so you get the feeling of this, I'm going to pause recording now that I've stopped taking the piss out of vape pens. 部屋が寒くならないようにドアを閉めてください。Now, this is about subtlety and nuance. It's not about clear grammatical rules. Does everybody understand what this sentence means first? Annika? It's good, no?
Yeah.
So heia is room. Samuku naranai, not become cold.
Yeah.
Please close the door. So it means so the room does not become cold, basically. Now, why did I copy? Oh yeah, that's right. Why don't I put tamini in here?
Because the room could be cold. It's not saying it will be cold.
Yeah, you're kind of right. You're on the right lines. There's
Because
something.
even if you close the door, it may become cold anyway.
Right, yeah. And the other thing is that this isn't actually a verb that you're involved with. This is something else. This is a different subject. It's the room. It's not you. It's not like I'm saving up enough money so that I can buy a car, or I'm studying so I can pass my exams. This is disconnected. This is you doing something, so something else doesn't happen. So this is a really typical example of where we have to use yoni. This one is correct. Go ahead, Annika.
So you mean because we don't have any option to take action in this place, to how to say that I don't have any
direct control.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like so Joel said, if you close the door, it might stop it getting cold, but it might not. So firstly, there is a lack of direct control. And secondly, it's something else that's actually happening. It's not, you don't, this isn't though so that you don't get cold. If you wanted to say, so that I don't get cold, I would say, watashi ga. Let's use, it's difficult really, because you don't actually say for somebody to get cold. In Japanese, samui means the weather and the air around you. It doesn't mean you. Hiyashinai tameni. Even that's kind of weird, really. That means to intentionally chill yourself, to not chill yourself. So even that's funny, to say to wear a coat so you don't get cold. Even this would be yoni, and you wouldn't use this verb. You'd say, so you don't feel the cold.
Sushikunai?
No.
Chilly?
No, that's referring to the weather. It's referring to the weather. So it's not like that you can really easily do it. But if you want to say, so I don't feel the cold. Samusa o kanjinai yoni. Samusa o kanjinai yoni. So I don't feel it. Kanjinai tameni. Koto o kimasu. Yeah, this is fine, actually. This is where you've got arguably some kind of interaction here, although not much control, really. I think in this instance, you could use tamini or yoni. Yeah. It's where really tamini is where you are doing something before the tamini and you are doing something after the tamini. If not, yoni is probably the right one to use, because you don't have direct intentionality or direct control. Is that okay, guys? I'm sort of leaving this subject a little bit precariously, but only by practicing and getting a feel for it, you really kind of get when it's good to use it and not good to use it. But those general rules work. If you've got direct control, direct intentionality, then use tamini, otherwise use yoni. Any questions? Cool. We'll just wait for Tom to finish writing. All good, Tom?
Yes, I now remember the noun plus sub form with samusa, nagasa.
Ah, right, yeah. How to turn an adjective
awesome.
into a noun. Yeah.
From a ghost session. I forgot that.
Yeah, everything comes back to going to the Natural History Museum in London and wearing a coat because it's going to rain, and let's get a coffee. It was all about this, wasn't it? Do you remember? This was a Sunday evening, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay. For the last 15, 20 minutes, do you want to do some practice, guys, of listening? Cool. me a second. I'm going to carry on reading this transcript from the central seminar last year because you kind of should know a lot of the words which are in there. Should know. Okay. Do this next one. Okay, I'm not going to pick ones which are really difficult to even understand, even if you understand the Japanese. Oh, okay. Sorry, Tom, you're going to have to pretend to have amnesia. Okay, ready, guys? 振りかぶった時にどうしても剣先が下がる方が結構おられます。Let me read it again. 振りかぶった時にどうしても剣先が下がる方が結構おられます。Some of this is polite speech, by the way. When I write it down, I'll replace it with, actually, I'll replace it now with normal speech. 振りかぶった時にどうしても剣先が下がってる人が結構います。振りかぶった時にどうしても剣先 or 切っ先 as you might understand it 切っ先が下がる人が結構います。Did you get it all, Aga?
Excuse me?
Did you understand all of that?
No.
No? What percent would you say?
I have no idea.
No idea. Okay.
Probably the first furikabutta something tokini.
Okay. Okay, let me read it one more time, guys. 振りかぶった時にどうしても切っ先が下がる人が結構います。Okay, let's put it on the screen. Hang on. Problem is I keep forgetting what it actually was. 振りかぶったときに、ちょっと待ってください。Jesus, I've got a massive monitor. I still don't have enough space on the screen to be able to do this. Okay. 振りかぶった時にどうしても切っ先 rather than 剣先切っ先が下がる人が結構います。Right, let me just give you some grammatical, some vocabulary explanations where you almost certainly won't know. 結構 means considerably or a lot. Or many. It's supposed to sound a little bit conservative. So. Okay. Joel, why don't you have a go?
I would say furikabutta tokini, it's when doing furikaburi, something like that.
Yeah. So this isn't this furikabutta.
Toki is the time, right? So
it is right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. When doing, but this is this isn't furikaburu tokini, but furikabutta tokini. So what does that mean exactly?
It's the past after doing furikaburi.
Yeah, exactly. So it's when furikaburi is completed, basically.
Okay.
So when furikaburi is finished, let's say complete. Yeah.
Now the doshite part is I'm struggling with it because I understand that kisaki, of course, and sagaru is to lower. But the doshite part, I can't understand what it's doing there.
Yeah, this is a little bit kind of conversational, really. So if I said dokomo, this means, what does that mean?
Doko is where?
Where? Yeah.
Mo.
Also?
Also, yeah.
Also.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Or it can also mean even. But the literal translation of this is everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah. Daremo. Also, if you do this in the negative form, this can also mean nowhere as well, by the way.
Okay, so daremo should be everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone or no one. It depends on how you structure the sentence, how you finish the sentence. So it's everyone or no one. Oops. Any more?
Everything.
Good. Everything. Right. Now, here's an English problem for me as well. In that case, so doshite means why. So what's doshitemo?
For all reasons.
Well, yeah, exactly. For all reasons, or for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this when translating it to English, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So
does it?
doshitemo there for all reasons.
Yeah. So actually, it's for, in this case, it's for some reason. That's the nuance.
Okay.
I mean, it's not really clear. It's suggesting for a reason, or for many reasons, or for some reasons, or maybe even for no reasons. But doshitemo means anyway. Some people are doing it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So for some reason. Yeah. Sagaru hito ga kekko imasu.
Oh, so there are plenty of people that are dropping the kisaki.
Excellent. Yeah. Drop kisaki. Good. Exactly. Good. Yeah. 振りがぶったときにどうしても振り先が下がる人が結構います。Good. Any questions, guys? Does anybody not understand what we've done on this sentence?
I have a question. This
Sure.
kekko refers to dropping or plenty.
Plenty of people.
So this kekko is to hito, not to considerably dropping. It's
exactly, yeah. Kekko imasu. So plenty imasu means there are plenty, and then the subject is people. Hito. There are plenty. Cool. Should we do another one? I'm taking silence as meaning yes.
Yes.
Okay, this should be easy because he's basically just laboring a point. So straight after this last sentence we just had, 自分では下がっていないと思っていても結構下がっていることがあります。You know, Kusama Sensei tends to repeat things and emphasize the important points. 自分では下がっていないと思っていても結構下がっていることがあります。自分では下がっていないと思っていても結構下がっていることがあります。So, 自分では下がっていないと思っていても結構下がっていることがあります。 have to bear in mind, guys, that there's a lot of redundant speech in Japanese. So sometimes things are kind of written in a certain way or said in a certain way just to labor a point. And this is kind of one of them. Okay, but let's do what we can from this. So Łukasz.
Okay, so jibun is me.
Good. Or oneself, actually. Oneself.
Oneself, not myself.
Or yourself, yeah. But it can mean generally, it can talk about other people and themselves. It's not necessarily just you.
So this dewa sagateina is something we never did probably, but this is like dewa arimasen looks like. So it's probably it would be like a negative.
Okay. So actually,
sagateinai.
So there aren't spaces in Japanese sentences, but this is actually what it means. Jibun dewa. Jibun means what?
At myself, for myself?
By myself, yeah. By yourself.
Myself.
Yeah.
By myself.
By oneself.
By oneself.
Or I could say yourself, by yourself, because he's talking to people.
This sagate is this dropping, right?
Yep, good.
In order.
Sagate inai. Sagate inai.
Not dropping.
Yes. Omotte. Let's just break the sentence up a little bit.
Omotte? Omoru? Omo. I don't know. Omo.
Think.
Think?
You are thinking. To omoimasu. I think. Chicago's wa ichiban suki oishii na steak yasan to omotte imasu. To omoimasu. I think Chicago's is the best steak. Yeah. So this is in English. This is saying, of course, yourself. You think that you're not dropping the tip, and then what it actually says ittemo, which means but. Yeah. Kekko. Sagate koto ga arimasu. Yeah,
but you considerably dropping. You experience. So you. I mean, you did drop, or you do drop.
If this was sagate ita koto ga arimasu, that would mean you have the experience. But sagate iru, this just means actually, but there are many cases of dropping the sword.
God.
Yeah.
But this koto ga arimasu is still the same koto ga arimasu.
Exactly. Yeah. So all koto ga, what koto does, it turns a verb into a noun. So drop becomes dropping.
Dropping.
Sagaru koto becomes dropping. Sagatta koto means droppedness. Droppy. And then you can say, I have it, ga arimasu. So I have dropped something before. But if it's this is basically the present tense, isn't it? There are cases of people dropping. Yeah. Okay, guys. Any questions?
He said he'll think you're not dropping. You think you're not dropping kisaki, but there are many cases of dropping that I saw, probably that I saw.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Exactly this. Yeah.
God.
Even though all of you, I mean, what he's actually saying is he's being kind, really. He's saying all of you think you're not dropping the sword, but many of you are dropping the sword. Even if you think you're not, you are.
Hi.
Right, one more question, guys, and then we'll finish for this evening. Oh, I might as well. Andre, can I just share the screen with you? I'll share it with everybody. But let me just ask you something. It's quicker to ask you than it is to look at my dictionary. Can you see the pointer? Are you looking on your phone at the moment? The word I want to ask you is this one. Is this skamaru or
Nigite.
Nigiru. Right, nigiru. Right, thank you. Nigiru. Right, thank you. Cool. Right. The next
Is that
sentence.
Torarumaki?
It is, yeah. It is Tonomaki. Yeah. And the English version of this should be coming out soon. Go ahead, Annika.
When you're reading this from the left top, the right top to the left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it starts here. Yeah. I mean, the easiest way to do it is to take the monitor and turn it on its side, and then tilt your head this way. Or you can print it out and scan it in and take a photograph of it. Okay, so continuing this same theme that he's been talking about. それは左手の小指でしっかりと刀を握っていないことにis that Andre? 原因 or 原則 原因があります。Okay, let me read it again. それは左手の小指でしっかりと刀を握っていないことに原因があります。It's a pretty good impression, isn't it? You have to admit, not bad.
And it certainly helped to understand.
Yeah. You put it into the kind of content. Right, one more time. それは左手の小指でしっかりと刀を握っていないことに原因があります。Right, should we put it on the screen? Stop being silly. I probably just said goodbye to my Hachidan.
Your Hachidan is in Kawasaki.
Yeah. それは左手の小指でしっかりと刀を握っていないこと。There's こと again, guys, meaning cases of. ことに原因があります。Right, I'll give you some vocabulary here because not all of this is easy to understand. Okay, so things that you might not know. 小指 Good. しっかりと What's that? The concept you introduced, Wukash, at the end of the adverbs? It's like the sound meaning things.
Yes, so you can call it. There are also adverbs. Yeah, but
yeah. So this is an adverb anyway, which means firmly.
Sound symbolism.
Sound symbolism. Thank you. Yeah. Exactly. しっかりと. This is the adverb of firmly. 握る. Let's give you the words which you definitely don't know. 握る. It means to grip. And gain is cause. Okay. So have a read a second and try and work out what he's actually saying. Even by context, it should be fairly easy. Tobe Panya-san sensei.
Hi.
Would you like to have a go?
Yeah, sure. That's left little finger. Left hand's little finger, maybe?
Yeah, the left little finger is fine. That's understood. Yeah.
Grips the katana firmly. Maybe shikari.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Firmly. But then we've got.
But then we have inai. So,
inai.
Don't grip.
Yeah. Not grips the katana firmly. Koto.
Koto. This would be a thing, but is it a modifier? Maybe.
Yeah. So again, it's turning this verb, what to not grip the sword firmly, into a noun. So again, you can say cases of. There are cases of not gripping the katana firmly. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. This is a kind of subclause ending here. Ni gein ga arimasu.
There will be cases of not gripping firmly. Maybe.
So, ge means cause.
Cause. Not case. This will cause.
So sorry. This is actually a noun, cause, rather than
cause of effect,
rather than the verb cause, which is pronounced exactly the same way in English.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry. So.
Okay. So they.
So this, I mean, basically,
origin.
That there are causes by this, caused by this. So this is kind of sorewa is a kind of, that's the beginning of the sentence. Sorry, of course that's the beginning of the sentence. That's saying that is, and then all of this is a subclause. Idarite no koyubi de shikkari to katana o nigite inai koto. So it's a subclause which says cases of not gripping the sword firmly with the small finger. Ni, caused by this. There are causes. It's caused by this.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all it means.
Okay. So yeah. Okay, I get it. But
Annika, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go on.
So it's in reference to lowering Wikisaki.
Exactly.
Okay, the gripping. Okay.
Yeah, exactly that. Cool.
So this.
Any questions? Sorry, Toby, go ahead.
Yeah. No. Because you would probably say this a little bit different in English, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would say it much easier. I'd say grip with the small finger, or I'll come along and smash you in the face.
Yeah. No, if you don't grip, grip firmly with your little finger, you will drop the tip.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. I mean, if I was going to, if I had to in fact, I have translated this into English. It will be published soon. I think this was translated as the cause of this is not gripping the sword firmly with the small finger, with the left small finger. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, as simple as that, really. Okay.
Any
questions? Yeah, Tom, go ahead.
When it's publicized, is it on a public magazine or it's on a subscribed magazine?
I think it's going to be on the Toronomaki subscribed magazine because it's their intellectual property, I'm afraid.
No problem. Just
if you're sweet to me, I'll send you the English version anyway.
Okay, but maybe it's an interesting magazine to. I don't know the magazine, that's why I ask. So,
Toronomaki is one of the better magazines, especially if you don't just do kendo. If you do koryu things as well, like Iai and Jodo, there's often some really good articles. But unfortunately, it's all in Japanese.
It's all in Japanese.
Yeah.
So you're translating this to English for what purpose? If that's only in Japanese.
So Bo Bryers approached the publisher and said, "This is something that's really there's a big Iaido following." Oh, there we go. Andre's got it. That's exactly the copy. He said there's a big following of Iaido outside of Japan, and there is the exact article. Yeah. Oh, Andy. Why is Andy there? Oh, that's the Holland seminar, wasn't it? That's last year. Last year's Holland seminar. Yeah. See, fame follows me. Thanks, Andre.
Is it easy to understand Japanese or difficult Japanese?
It's this exactly. It looks like this. Hang on. Let me share the screen with you so you can see what it's like. I mean, to be honest, if you can read the Seitei manual, which I'd hope that within a year or so from now, all of you should be able to do. Because actually, it's not, Seitei manual is actually really easy to understand. Then this shouldn't be difficult. This is using exactly the same vocabulary, exactly the same words. The grammar's pretty similar. But yeah, so it's, I don't know how easy that is to see. If I zoom in, it's actually zooming it in for you as well, right?
Yes.
There we go. So almost all of the characters here are the ones which are used in the Seitei manual, aren't they, Andre? It actually looks like it's been written by the authors of the Seitei manual, actually. Yeah. Lots of hiragana, lots of grammar, not too difficult kanji. Yeah.
Maybe you can get a bonus if I subscribe.
Toby, that book was upside down, by the way. Is that why it's difficult to
Sorry,
read?
sorry.
I can't. Muso Shindemyu?
Isozo Sensei's book.
Yeah. It's difficult to read when it's upside down. It's also quite difficult to read when it's the right way up.
It was the label on the back side. It's upside down.
Ah, right. Okay. I'm slowly translating those books as well, but it's kind of working. Okay. Any questions, guys? Tired, everybody? Good. Go and have a glass of wine or something, or Slivovitsa, or what's that disgusting German drink called again? Straw. I'll go and have a glass of straw, Annika.
That Austrian.
Oh, Austrian, sorry.
My guess was Wasser.
Wasser. Ah, yeah.
Yeah. The disgusting drink.
People saying horrible things about German booze. It pretty much, apart from some beers, though, it is pretty disgusting, isn't it, German booze?
True.
I mean, Annika, can you name a nice German alcoholic drink?
Yeah, from my hometown, Nordhäuser Doppelkorn.
Okay, what's it called?
Doppelkorn.
Doppelkorn.
What?
Yeah.
It's awful.
Double, was it double corn?
Yeah,
Double wheat.
Double wheat, yes.
Okay.
Or peppermint,
The Cure.
Huh?
No, tea.
No. No, it's if you wait one moment, I can
So I like
come and
Teufel.
get it.
German Teufel is pretty cool.
Teufel?
Yeah, it's called devil. Teufel is devil in German.
Ah.
And it's a kind of
like,
strong,
this was in The Witcher,
50% liquor, a sweetie, kind of sweetie liquor. Pretty cool, pretty nice.
I remember this word from The Witcher, Teufel.
Teufel, yeah, exactly. Yeah. This one that throw the small stones.
The balls, yeah.
Pfeffermint.
Green.
Ah. Okay, actually,
It
we're
feels
going
like freshly brushed teeth.
Excellent.
Perfect for festivals.
Why would you drink that?
For music, so instead of brushing your teeth at festivals, you just drink this.
Yes.
It's like Minte.
What?
Like Minte? No?
Yes.
Oh God.
I'm going to start drinking it before I go to work in the morning. Say,
Yes.
God, you smell strong with alcohol. Say, no, it's toothpaste.
Would be a lot easier.
Yeah, sure. Makes the whole day a lot easier, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. See you later.
Arigato.
Arigatou gozaimashita.
Thank you.
お疲れ様でした。
お疲れ様でした。気をつけて。
またね。
またね。